Can you give us 3 guys? Because they've all done well. We know they've done well.
Okay.
How about 3 other guys, either on return or coverage teams, that you would like to maybe compliment for their first half of the season performance? They're doing what you're asking.
Yeah, I think Malik Washington's done a really good job. I think he's third in the league in punt return right now with an average of over 15 yards. I think he's doing a good job. We need to clean some things up from last week about trying to catch more of these punts. But I think he's done a really good job as a punt returner and a kickoff returner. And just staying with the returners is D. Eskridge, too. Guy's fearless. He does a great job for us. I think he started off a couple games with a couple returns over the 40-yard line. I thought his one last week did a great job of catching that ball really close to the sideline. That was a short kick. Went up there, got it at the 42, 43-yard line. I think he's doing a really good job for us, too. And if guys end up working, I could name a couple other ones, too. I think KJ Britt's having a solid season. Might not show up a lot on his stats, but he's doing some really good things as far as the return game is concerned, especially punt return. Cam Good, same thing. He's doing a really good job as far as making tackles. Happy overall with these guys. I think they've really bought into special teams, and Mike obviously put a big emphasis on it during the offseason and during training camp. So we need to continue to work, continue to get better. That's one of the main things that we're talking about this week. Let's get back playing fast and physical with elite technique. Doesn't matter really what they do, it's going to be on us. And how are we going to improve each and every single day?
Greg, first kickoff you guys have last week. Willie Gay has the nice move, and it seems like you guys have the returner surrounded to the point where I guess Trader makes the tackle and Bonner is able to rip the ball away. Looked like really good coverage. They got 33 yards. Is that just the return game nowadays?
Yeah, there's a few things. We were just talking about watching another team, and a team gets the ball outside the 30-yard line. Some people are cheering. That's not the standard that we want. Anything past the 30-yard line, like you're going to see me on the sideline, not like I'm upset. But that's the standard that we have, and the players obviously know that. We will do some stuff scheme-wise to help with that, and I thought Willie did a really good job. There might be a few things we need to continue to work with Willie on to go and try to make that tackle, but I thought Trader did an unbelievable job two-gapping a blocker, shedding the block and making a tackle. Nick Westbrook ended up, what we call Debo. He ended up knocking a guy down to go and make a tackle too. And then the second guy that's going to come in, we want to really try to go after the ball too. So there's a bunch of things that we're going to continue to try. Our dirty kicks. Dirty kicks, and just coverage-wise. We've got to go down there and cover and try to build momentum for our team, and that would be tackles inside that 30-yard line. We get momentum by doing that.
What do you remember about the Codrington last game? He didn't seem to break loose for anything.
Yeah, we really like him. He's a good dual returner. He's back there on kickoff return, punt return. Now, he's been inactive the past couple games, but, we got to still prepare for him like he's going to be the starter. I know, the really good receiver secures back there too, so he does a really good job for them. But if 29 is back there, we've got to be prepared because he can make people miss in space. He does a great job of hitting it at full speed. So we got to do a great job of corralling this guy, making sure that he doesn't get loose on us.
Craig, were you asked to study the 66 career special team snaps of Andre Carter and for input with him as a special teams player compared to, say, Quentin Bell, who was an option internally?
Yeah, anytime we get a new player, whether it be Mike or Chris or Champ or anyone, they're always going to say, hey, take a look at this guy, see what he can do on special teams. So all that stuff, we have good dialogue about that, and then I give them my opinion on the player, on how he's played on special teams. So I do really enjoy that open dialogue that they give us. Hey, we might have a guy that we might sign. Craig, could you please take a look at him and see what you think?
And thoughts on him from the limited sample size?
Yeah, plays hard. Obviously, got big body, he's got length. Plays hard. We're going to try to play him at a bunch of different spots and see where he fits really well within our team.
I know pregame it looks like Riley kicks from 60 yards. Would you ever have him? We had the 66 last week. Would you ever have him kick from more than 60? Is that even applicable? Would you attempt anything more than 6
Sure,
yards.
yeah. If it ends up being a certain situation where, if Mike asked me, hey, do you think he can make this field goal? I wouldn't have a hesitation of him going back there. But it's obviously the weather conditions, the field conditions, all those different types of things. Is it an end of half or end of game type situation, or are we just within the framework of a game where, if we're trying a 62-yard field goal, second quarter, midway through the second quarter, if they end up missing, they're going to get the ball in midfield. So yeah, I wouldn't have an issue with him hitting those. I know he's extremely confident because he's always talking to me about, hey, I'll make one of those, which always want to hear from a kicker too, that they're confident to make those. So yeah, we would end up trying one if it happened.
Looks like the Bills are, they only give up 7.7 yards per punt return, which
Yep.
is sixth in the league. Is there like a guy that's the reason for that?
Yeah, Sam Franklin, number 28, does a really good job. He has been a core player for the past couple years, whether it was at Carolina, now Buffalo. He does a really good job. He's one of their gunners. I think they also do a really good job as far as their punter is concerned. They might not try to hit a big ball where it's going 60 yards or 55 yards. They do a good job of just hitting the ball 45, 47 yards. With hang time, trying to limit the return. So we've got to do a great job on Sam. Malik's got to come up and catch it, and we've got to run up there and get vertical as quickly as we possibly can.
Guy that you'll be like,
Try to
not
stop Sam.
needling him all week, like 28. But you're 28's your guy. You better be on 28.
Yeah, we've needled all of our players on 28. Just players that are really good. We want to make sure that our players are obviously aware of him, and they know. They study film. They know what type of player he is, and how good he's been in the past too. So I wouldn't say there's a specific player that we end up telling that to. It's really the whole team. Because even Mike brought it up in our team meeting about how well 28 plays, and he's going to play hard. He's going to go to the echo of the whistle. So we've got to make sure we do a really good job of finishing our blocks on him.
I was watching a college game where it seemed like a punt was going to be downed inside the 10, but the momentum of the gunner, he couldn't stop himself, and he mishandled the ball, pushed it forward. Another guy tries to save it, and he pushes it into the end zone. What are some of the teaching points for guys for the difficult position of running with all your momentum and then trying to stop to down the punt?
Yeah, that's one of the things, and there's different rules from college to pro football too, because if that ball breaks the plane in college, it'll be a touchback. In the NFL, it's not like that. Yep, there you go, where we can go and bat the ball on certain things. So there's obviously different things that we can do to help out, whether it's the gunner who's running 100 miles an hour, where we can go and bat the ball back. Now we got to teach our interior players, when they get close to that 5-yard line, we've got to start to settle down a little bit more, because we don't want that momentum then to take them into the end zone. So we did a lot of that stuff in training camp, and we continue to show them on film about guys that maybe don't stop their momentum, and then it hits off of them and then goes back in the end zone for a touchback. So remember what game that was? Because usually I try to take a look at it and I show the players.
The Miami Hurricanes.
Okay, it was the Hurricanes. Okay. All right, I'll have to bring that one up to the guys. So I love showing that type of stuff to the players. I know our players love looking at it. On Saturday nights, I have what's called a not top 10 that I show to the players. Just, hey, guys, this is the stuff that's going around the league. Don't be on it. That's one of the other things. And just showing them other like situational football that happens through, whether it's our opponent that we're playing or just anyone else. Hey, these are the situations that are coming up. Let's make sure we're not on this tape.
Put your own players on the
So we have, and it's learning, right? It's one of those learning experiences, and then everyone gets a laugh. But my point to that is we can get a laugh out of it, but we've got to learn from it. And I think it's obviously better to show other teams, because you don't want to be a part of it, and the players in the back of their minds like, I don't want to be that guy that's on this tape. So as long as they learn from all those different types of experiences, that's going to help us out.
And this is something you compile on your own, or you have?
So I learn, yeah. So I watch every single game in the NFL, and if there's anything that someone sees, like the Miami Hurricanes, when David brought that up, we'll try to put that on there so our players can see that stuff, or whether it's Ronnie or Joe Jones, if they see something when they're breaking down film, hey, Craig, take a look at this. I think this would be a good thing for our players to look at. But we try to watch every single snap, at least special teams wise, from around the league.